We also want to thank Hinge for sponsoring this episode. Hinge is a dating app designed to be deleted because that's the point of dating apps. You want to get rid of that shit. And now that I'm in a healthy, happy relationship, I'm much happier than when I was, quote unquote, a fuck boy. Hit the App Store, download Hinge, find some love.
Why is the end of a first date so painfully awkward? So you just spent some time with this person. You got to know them. Maybe you liked what you heard. Maybe you didn't. Do you hug? Do you go in for the kiss? Does one of you do one of you do the other? Do you end up doing an awkward handshake?
Now, I used to have a profile on Hinge back in the Bachelor days, and they actually named me the second most eligible social media stars. That's right, people. That's like winning an Emmy for being single.
You have to spend every Sunday with their family, dump or deal.
All 52 of the year? Honestly, I don't even do anything on Sunday, so yeah, why not? Family bonded.
I come from a very family-oriented family. It wouldn't bother me.
Don't. Way too much contact.
Absolutely don't. Cannot do that.
6'3". He is 6'3". Match with this guy.
I'm 6'2", but if I'm spending every Sunday with your parents, no.
The best part about Hinge, it actually works. They set up a date every 4 seconds.
Every 4. 1,
Look
2.
at someone just went on a date.
Wait. And there was another
Someone
date.
just went on a date.
All right, Molly, if you could kick it off. So how do you typically go about looking for the influencers that you want to work with? What are the most important criteria that you use?
Yeah, so I actually found Cody because my sister loved his podcast and loved his YouTube channel. But when I'm looking for influencers in general, I think most influencers are super cringy. So I'm really looking for somebody that, one, isn't cringe, doesn't make me want to just like, nails on a chalkboard.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. Two, somebody who doesn't, who won't just do like any brand partnership. So if I look on someone's Instagram and they're holding up like a HelloFresh box and then it's like a vitamins and then, the next thing is like a lotion, I'm like, no, this is definitely the wrong person for me. So really I'm just looking for a super authentic, funny, relatable, regular sort of person, because the people that use Hinge are super, they're just regular people. So we don't want to use people that our users wouldn't be able to relate to.
Totally, makes sense. So Cody, you were a Hinge user before you ever worked with us. How did you originally hear about the app?
Because I was on all the dating apps, and Hinge was one of the ones where it actually started where it had to be a friend of a friend.
Yeah, that's
so that was like the first version.
But it's not that anymore. So
it's not that, yeah. So I remember when you guys switched and you had like
Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you had the update, that's when people were like, you can see who likes you. And I was like, that's a big feature.
Yeah.
And so I downloaded it and was on it for, a couple years, I think.
Yeah.
Nice. And Molly, was anyone higher up at Hinge or the parent company now with IAC acquiring Hinge, was there ever any consideration around brand safety, or did that ever come into your thinking? Because Cody speaks like a regular person. He might use a swear word from time to time on his podcast or in his YouTube content.
Yeah, so when I started at Hinge was just an independent company, and we had a lot more freedom to do what we wanted to do. And I think we started with Cody right before we were acquired by Match IAC. And when that acquisition took place, they did an audit of like our entire content strategy. And when Cody's name came up, we got a ton of like frantic emails being like, who is this guy? Like, he's swearing in his videos, like he's, making fun of tons of people. Like, I don't know if this is the right fit, blah, blah, blah. I was like, no, trust me. Like, he's a regular guy. Like, people like him. Just trust me on this one. And we went through a bunch of talks about that. And then what we ended up, deciding on in terms of like keeping on people like Cody was what we call a brand attribution survey. So it's a thing that pops up in the app when you open it. And it's just one question: how did you hear about Hinge? And people kept writing Cody Co. So it's like, well, obviously it's working, so we're not going to get rid of him or anyone like him.
That's perfect. And then Cody, what do you think other brands in the room could learn from your partnership with Hinge?
I mean, I think I can echo what you said, but it's about finding the right person. Like, Business Insider added me to that article, and so it was like pretty natural. Like, everyone knew that I was associated with Hinge already, and then I was on it, and my whole audience is, it's basically college kids who are all using dating apps as well. So it like totally fit. I'm not going to promote something that I don't use or that I'm not personally interested in or that I think is relevant to my audience. So it was a great partnership just off the get-go.
Nice. And And then Molly, what insights or learnings did you take away from your partnership with Cody that we're now, you're now applying to our current strategy with the new people that we look at, and just kind of your overall content strategy in general?
Yeah, so I think the biggest takeaway with Cody's partnership is that it's really important to decide what your number one thing that you want his audience to take away is, and then just let him do his thing beyond that. So for Hinge, it's our tagline. We were really trying to drive home that Hinge is the app that's designed to be deleted. So we just made sure that Cody says that, and then just kind of let him go on the other stuff, because it's going to sound so fake and like lame if we've got him like reading a script, basically.
So that actually, so you guys saw a clip in the video that was kind of a tee-up of what I would consider one of our main like hero pieces with Cody. And if you couldn't get the vibe of what the video was, he essentially sat down with his current significant other and opened up, he had already deleted the app because he was in a relationship, but Hinge gave him access back to his profile so he could essentially go through all of the messages and the content inside of the app with his new significant other sitting right next to him.
It was difficult.
In real time. So what was that experience like as far as prepping for that? Like, was it straight, her real reaction as you were going through, 100%? Or that's awesome.
I mean, it's a really funny idea, I think, and it's like from that comes a lot of humor and like uncomfortableness, but also a lot of laughs and stuff like that. So I thought it was great off the get-go.
I love it. Yeah. So how much creative freedom do you like when you're working with a brand versus following like a creative brief or something that an agency or a brand sends over to you?
My preference is I like, what I hate is getting a copy from a brand and they're like, it's supposed to be a 60-second read and the copy is 5 pages long. And they're like, everything is mandatory. You have to say everything. It's like, this is gonna take me 10 minutes to read all this. But like Molly was saying with with just like the tagline, if it's like that plus 3 like major points that they really want me to hit, and then it's up to me to like craft the intro and the outro and stuff, that's my preference. And I think my audience responds to that like better than anything else.
Do you feel like the partnerships perform better from like a KPI perspective? Like Hinge is obviously trying to get folks to download it, and we've already talked about how that's been extremely successful, and Hinge has that great ability to have that first-party survey inside of the app to actually figure out where people came from.
Yeah.
Do you feel like when a brand gives you that authenticity or that ability to be more flexible in the creative, do you feel like the results of the execution actually, are improved by that?
Definitely, yeah, because it's more sincere. It's more my language instead of the brand's, and I'm trying to frame it so that my audience can digest it better. And I think that definitely works.
Very cool. So Molly, how do you strike a balance between getting your brand message across but still coming across as, I hate to use the buzzword of authenticity, but really that is what we're looking for in these types of partnerships. How do you strike that balance?
Yeah, I think it's kind of like what I was saying before, where you just need to figure out what are the main takeaways. For Hinge, we're an authentic, like a platform for authentic people that are looking for relationships. And we want you to delete the app, get on and get off the app. So I think just as long as you can drive that point home, that's the most important thing.
Yeah, makes sense. And then Cody, if you were going to give one piece of advice to a brand that wants to work with you or others like you, what would that be?
I mean, I think it's about, I guess, like respecting the platform and how like YouTube is a like we move super fast, like, so it's nice creating a video, doing an integration, and then getting feedback like almost immediately, because if I'm doing a video on something, sorry, my Uber Eats is here now. If I'm doing a video on something, it's something that's trending, something I have to like do basically right away, and that's gonna get the maximum amount of traction. So it's about respecting the platform and the creator, I guess. Yeah. And also being open-minded, like you are, like not caring that I swear and stuff like that, because I'll say crap sometimes. Who knows?
So I imagine it just becomes insane with the amount of content that a creator has to put into the world on a regular basis. What is kind of your schedule of like, how many channels are you programming content to, and like what's the velocity of content that you're putting out on like a weekly basis?
It's a good question. It depends. Our most consistent thing is our podcast.
Yeah.
because that's always once a week. And then our like main channel videos will be, you know, whenever we make time to write them and edit them and everything. I still edit all my own stuff. So, and now with like live touring and stuff, that you have to factor in like sitting down, really writing stuff for live performances. So it's busy, but it's like kind of random.
And do you have like a running slate of videos that you're kind of thinking about doing, and then you just kind of pull one off the out of the hat? And
it depends. Right now, I have 0 ideas. So. But sometimes I'll be like, I'll have more ideas.
Feel free to make another Hinge video for free.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah.
And then also, like how fast, from the inception of idea to getting a video out on YouTube, like what's the timeline for something like that?
It's usually like 2 to 3 days.
3 days. Wow, that's huge. So this one's for Alana. So how has your own social media strategy been influenced by other creators like Cody and others that you work with, as far as building out Hinge's brand, but also your own?
Yeah.
Brand
well, in terms of the content on Hinge, I really want our followers and our members to know that like we understand it. Dating is really hard, and we don't expect them to just like sign up, like become members and suddenly like meet someone. There's a lot of steps that go into relationships and kind of becoming comfortable with yourself. So in terms of all of the content that I make for the brand, I'm really trying to tackle different situations that people run into with dating and relationships, and kind of like being a friend to these people, where it's like if they have a problem, they actually DM us, and they'll either DM Hinge or DM me personally, like asking for advice, which is really cool. And rather than like giving advice, because I'm not a dating professional, I kind of just like help them through it and let them know that they're not alone, and that like I'm here to listen and I'm here to help like be there and be a friend to them. But it's been really cool and a really unique experience.
Love that. Yep. So you guys ready for something fun? All right.
So one of our weekly segments that we have is called Dump or Deal, and we go out in the streets of New York City and we go up to random people and we give them situations that they would run into and things they would learn about someone as they're getting to know them and dating. Some of them are more serious, some are silly, but it's really just to get them thinking about what's important to them. So an hour ago, Cody and I went outside and filmed one, and you guys are also going to participate and answer. So we're going to give the situation. We have Cody giving his answer, and then it's either dump or deal. And we're going to do a show of hands. So let's get that rolling.
Hey guys, it's Alana. We're here with Cody Co. We are in Park City, Utah. We came all the way here just to film this dump or deal. How are you feeling?
Feeling great. Look at this beautiful mountain behind us. It's amazing. Nature's beautiful, isn't it?
Nature, trees, love it. They don't have social media, dump or deal.
Oh, deal. That's a plus. That's a major bonus. That means they like to live in the moment. They enjoy life. I don't know. I don't know what that's like at all.
So they don't use social media. Can we get a show of hands for dump?
Oh, everyone says deal.
Okay, deal. Woo!
Nice.
Wow. All right, let's see what happens when we ask our 24 to 35 audience on Instagram. Next one.
They can't build IKEA furniture, dump or deal.
Oh man, deal. I think you got to deal with that. I mean, I want to get to a point where I can just like pay people to build the furniture for me. So like, I would be a hypocrite if I said dump.
All right, hands up for dump. Hands up for deal.
Pretty split.
Leaning deal. Next.
They have never voted in an election before, dump or deal.
Okay, well, I think I got to deal with that too, because as a Canadian, I can't get involved in American politics, so who am I to say that someone else should be?
All right, dump. Deal. Oh, we got one.
Nice.
Okay.
One holdout.
And we got one more for you.
They insist that you share your location with them, dump or deal.
I don't like that. I'm big about privacy.
All right, dump. Deal. Got a few.
Right, a few.
Down to be transparent. Love it.
That's it. I think that's it.
That's
yeah.
it. Thanks for having us, guys.
Thanks, guys.
They put up their holiday decorations
one more.
before Thanksgiving. Dump or deal.
All right, they put up holiday decorations before Thanksgiving. Hands up for dump. Hands up for deal.
Yeah, holiday
And
cheer. That's what it's
Cody's
about.
flying home to LA to put his up tonight.
Exactly. Half Christmas. Thanks, guys.